Hey everyone, we're back tonight with chapter 4 of 1 Kings. Try to straighten my webcam out real quick. Okay. So I'm about chapter 4 of 1 Kings. It talks about Solomon's officials, and this is what it says. King Solomon was king over all of Israel, and these were his high officials. Azariah, the son of Zadok, was the priest. Eliphorah and Ahijah, the sons of Shisha, were secretaries. Jehoshaphat, the son of Elud, was recorder. Benaiah, the son of Joadiah, was in command of the army. Zadok and Abiathar were priests. Azariah, the son of Nathan, was over the officers. Zabud, the son of Nathan, was priest and king's friend. Ashatar was in charge of the palace, and Adoram, the son of Abda, was in charge of the forced labor. Solomon had 12 officers over all Israel, who provided food for the king and his household. Each man had to make provision for 1 month in the year. These were their names: Ben-Hur in the hill country of Ephraim, Ben-Deker in Makaz, Shalbam, Beth-Shemesh and Elon-Beth-Hanan, Ben-Hesed in Arubath. To him belonged Soka and all the land of Hepher. Ben-Adab in all of Naphtador. He had Tapha, the daughter of Solomon, as his wife. Benaiah, the son of Elud, and Tanakh, Megiddo, and all of Bethshean, that is beside Zerathon below Jezreel, and from Bethshean to Abdel Meolah, as far as the other side of Jokmeh. Ben-Geber in Ramoth Gilead. He had the villages of Jair, the son of Manasseh, which are in Gilead, and he had the region of Argob, which is in Bashan, 60 great cities with walls and bronze bars. Ahinab, the son of Edo, in Mahanaim. Ahimaaz and Naphtali. He had taken Basemath, the daughter of Solomon, as his wife. Benaiah, the son of Hushai, in Asher and Beloth. Jehoshaphat, the son of Pariah, in Ishkar. Shemaiah, the son of Elab, in Benjamin. Geber, the son of Uriah, in the land of Gilead. The country of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and Og, king of Bashan, and there was one governor who was over the land. Solomon's wealth and wisdom. Judah and Israel were as many as the sand of the sea. They ate and drank and were happy. Solomon ruled over all the kingdoms from the Euphrates, which is up around Syria, which is like northern Syria, to the land of the Philistines, which is Gaza, and toward the border of Egypt. So he had a real huge kingdom. It stretched from basically where the Syria Turkey border is today all the way down to Egypt. It's a very huge kingdom. They brought tribute and served Solomon all the days of his life. Solomon's provisions for one day was 30 cores of fine flour and 60 cores of meal, 10 fat oxen and 20 pasture-fed cattle, 100 sheep besides deer, gazelles, roebucks, and fattened fowl. For he had dominion over all the region west of the Euphrates, from Tishphah to Gaza, over all the kings west of the Euphrates. He had peace on all sides around him, and Judah and Israel lived in safety from Dan even to Beersheba, every man under his vine and under his fig tree, all the days of Solomon. Solomon also had 40,000 stalls of horses for his chariots and 12,000 horsemen, and those officers supplied provisions for King Solomon and for all who came to King Solomon's table, each one in his month. They let nothing be lacking. Barley also and straw for the horses and swift steeds they brought to the place where it was required, each according to his duty. And God gave Solomon wisdom and understanding beyond measure, and breadth of mind to stand on the seashore. So Solomon was promoted the smartest man ever to live. So that Solomon's wisdom surpassed the wisdom of all the people of the east and all the wisdom of Egypt. For he was wiser than all other men, wiser than Ethan the Ezrahite, and Heman, Cacao, and Darda, the sons of Mahul, and his fame was in all the surrounding nations. He also spoke 3,000 proverbs, and his songs were about over 1,000 of them. He spoke of trees from the cedar that is in Lebanon to the hyssop that grows out of the wall. He spoke also of beasts and of birds and of reptiles and of fish, and people of all nations came to hear the wisdom of Solomon, and from all the kings of the earth who had heard of his wisdom. So King Solomon was a very smart king. I mean, he was pretty much the smartest person to ever live. They have maps here. I'll show you here in a minute. The extent of Solomon's kingdom from 970 to 930 BC. Solomon's reign marked the zenith of Israel's power and wealth in biblical times. So Israel, so it says Solomon's reign marked the zenith of Israel's power and wealth in biblical times. So Israel was at its best during or under King Solomon's reign. His father David had bestowed upon him a kingdom that included Edom, Moab, and Ammon, which is Jordan, Syria, and Zobah. Solomon would later bring the kingdom of Hamath under his dominion as well, and his marriage to Pharaoh's daughter sealed an alliance with Egypt. His expansive kingdom controlled important trade routes between several major world powers, including Egypt, Arabia, which is Saudi Arabia today, Mesopotamia, which is Iraq, and Anatolia, which is Turkey today. That's how far his kingdom stretches from. It was from Turkey all the way down to Egypt, over to Saudi Arabia, and all the way over to Iraq. That's how big the kingdom of Israel was under his control. It was a huge kingdom, very huge. And the map here, Solomon's kingdom at the beginning of his reign, which at the beginning of his reign is stretched from the Egypt border all the way up into northern Syria, and then into Solomon's expansion, which would have been up to the Turkey border today, or on up into Turkey. And this is what his kingdom looked like here. You can see that right there. That's how big his kingdom was. Huge. I mean, it's just a massive kingdom. So his kingdom stretched from the Israeli-Egypt border all the way to where Turkey is at today. Very huge kingdom. Now they have another map here. It says Solomon's administrative districts in 950 BC. Solomon reorganized the Israelite territory of his kingdom into 12 districts, each of which was responsible to supply the immense provisions for the king for 1 month out of the year. It appears that Judah, Solomon's tribe, was exempted from this burden. Solomon also fortified key towns throughout his kingdom and built storage cities for his economic enterprises. Among his most significant building projects were the temple, the first temple, which is Solomon's temple, and his royal palace in Jerusalem, built largely with cedar supplied by King Hiram of Tyre, which is, of course, where Lebanon's at today. So you have the district under Solomon, which that's pretty much his kingdom. It stretched from Egypt, Israel border, all the way up to where Turkey's at today, all the way over to Jordan and Iraq. I mean, and on down to Saudi Arabia. Huge, vastly huge kingdom. Then you have the building projects under Solomon. Of course, that's where his because Solomon's kingdom was so huge that he had to break it off into districts, which in a way would be like states today, pretty much. Then you have building projects under Solomon, which that was his building projects that he was building at the time of his kingdom, and the route of shipments for building the temple, which started from the route came from all the way up from Syria down to Lebanon, and then by sea went all the way over to Israel and over into Jerusalem. So this is the districts, the building projects, and the route that the shipments took for building the first temple, which is Solomon's temple. And this is that map right here. As you see that, I mean, it ain't really much, but you see right here the outline of the shipments that Lebanon shipped down to Israel from the sea. And of course, you see all the big white dots are the districts. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's little itty bitty, it's probably too small to see. If you see that little mark, or that little white box right there, that would be his building projects, which were all over Israel at the time. But anyway, his kingdom was very, very huge. Like I said, it stretched from Israel-Egypt border all the way up north to where Turkey is at today, and all the way over to where Jordan and Iraq is today, even on down south to Saudi Arabia. So the vastly huge kingdom that he had. So it's chapter 4, which talks about his kingdom. It talks about his officials, his wealth and wisdom. Also talks about his vastly his huge kingdom at the time. So that's chapter 4. I'll be right back with chapter 5 here shortly.